State regime media, which calls itself Fox News, is panicking on live TV as Donald Trump's cowardly escape from Air Force One on July 8th in Ankara, Turkey, has been exposed. State regime media Fox wants to distract from how cowardly, weak, and pathetic Donald Trump is, that he constantly fears that he is going to be killed by Iran. Hat tip to the Washington Post for the scoop, which you now know. July 8th, Ankara, Turkey, following the NATO summit, Donald Trump boards Air Force One, the old Air Force One, that is not the Qatari one, which was previously sent back to a Royal Air Force base in the UK. Trump boards the old Air Force One, then the press board on a different entrance. Donald Trump then sneaks out of old Air Force One in a catering truck, tucked into a catering truck, which brings him to a military plane along with Pete Hegseth, who joins him. The military plane then flies back to the Royal Air Force Base in the UK. Meanwhile, when the old Air Force One arrives back to the UK, Donald Trump joins the old Air Force One and pretends that he was on the plane with the reporters who Donald Trump essentially allowed to be a target of a potential assassination attempt. And then Donald Trump said, "I'm in it with you. We were all in this together. And so if something were to happen to me, it would happen to you as well. But that's why we're in this together." And meanwhile, he was cowardly hiding away in the catering truck. So state regime media does not want this to be discussed. Of course, we are discussing it here. So they bring on Caroline Leavitt, and she was in her usual form, and she starts saying the radical, extreme liberals, the socialists, the communists, they are coming for you. You want to know where the socialists, communists reside? In the Oval Office, as Donald Trump takes over 30 different companies and does social welfare for the billionaire oligarchs while screwing over the American people. Watch what Caroline Leavitt says. Let's play this clip.
These are radical, extreme liberals, socialists, communists, whatever you want to call them, Sean. What matters most is their extreme policy positions. This is no longer the Democrat Party of JFK. Heck, this is not even the Democrat Party of Barack Obama. This is a party that has been totally captivated by these far left extreme liberals who support massively raising your taxes, who support abolishing your police, who support abolishing private prisons, who support reopening our southern border and our nation's borders to illegal alien criminals all over the world.
Then Caroline Leavitt says, and yesterday, we did what all of the Maha moms like me wanted. We gave parents the choice over their children. What are you even talking about? Yesterday, you spread medical disinformation, you lied about vaccines, and you engaged in incredibly dangerous behavior in the Oval Office. And meanwhile, let me remind everybody, we learned that Donald Trump was hiding in a catering truck to sneak onto a military plane while pretending he was on the old Air Force One because he is terrified that Iran is going to kill him. And why don't I also add, Caroline Leavitt, how Donald Trump now plays golf with a ballistic missile and drone interceptor truck around him because he is a terrified coward. So much winning that you hide in a catering truck and play golf with an anti-ballistic missile and anti-drone system. Yeah, great work, Caroline. Here, play this clip.
Today was a great day for the MAHA movement, the Make America Healthy Again movement. It was another promise made and promise kept by President Trump today. He signed a historic executive order creating the gold standard of science childhood vaccination recommendation schedule for parents. This gives parents more choice, Sean, which is something that MAHA moms like myself have been asking for our children. It's based on common sense.
More from Caroline Leavitt on state regime media Fox here as well. And she goes, you know, the big issue with Democrats is they want men to compete against women in women's sports. It's insane. Stop with the stupid culture wars. The American people are suffering right now because of your regime's policies. Your communist fascist regime's policies have caused so much pain to the American people. You've made matters so much worse. You've ripped away people's health care. Things are far less affordable. And may I also add that the leader of this despicable regime was cowardly hiding in a catering truck in Ankara, Turkey. Let me continue to remind us of that fact. Here, play this clip.
If you look at just the basic common sense issues in this country, like men not competing in women's sports, the Democrats want men to compete against women on the playing field. They want men in our restrooms, in our locker rooms. It's complete insanity, and we can't allow our country to go backwards, back to the days of Joe Biden, but even worse. Again, these candidates are more radical than Joe Biden, Barack Obama, and certainly JFK and Democrats like that ever were.
More from Caroline Levitt over here, who starts to continue to say, we can't allow these far left liberals to take power. They're extreme, they're this, they're that. It's all just dangerous MAGA lies and rhetoric because they have destroyed our country. They lost a war we should never have been involved in. And may I also add that Donald Trump was hiding like a little freaking coward, like a weasel coward boy in a catering truck because he was terrified that Iran's going to kill him. Here, play this clip.
Our country is safer. Our country is more affordable. We cannot allow these radical, extreme, far left liberals to take power. We have steady progress under President Trump right now. If these radical, extreme liberals are given a chance at power here in Washington, D.C., they will try to obstruct this president and turn our country into a communist hellhole with every extreme liberal policy that they try to implement.
Now let me interrupt for just a moment with some big news. I got good news for you right now. Something pretty remarkable just happened in one of the reddest states in America. For the first time ever, Utah generated more electricity from solar power than from any other energy source during the month of May. According to new energy data, solar produced nearly 1/3 of all the electricity generated in the state, edging out natural gas while coal fell to third place. I want you to think about that for a sec, because Utah has long been associated with fossil fuels, but the economics of clean energy are changing the landscape. Experts say this didn't happen overnight. It's the results of years of investment in large-scale solar projects, including massive new solar farms that have come online recently, along with battery storage that helps deliver power even after the sun goes down. I want to highlight Grist for their incredible reporting on this. Logan Mitchell, a climate scientist and energy analyst with Utah Clean Energy, told Grist, quote, "Wind plus solar is on a tear right now. We may have achieved liftoff." And he noted how wind and solar complement each other, since wind generation is highest in winter months and solar produces the most electricity in the summer. But wait, I seem to remember that Trump said something about countries who use wind just the other day.
Any country with windmills is a loser, okay?
Well, the good news is even red states like Utah aren't listening to him, and it's not just an environmental story. Energy experts say that this shift means cleaner air, new jobs, more investment, and a stronger economy. In other words, renewable energy isn't just about fighting climate change anymore. It's increasingly becoming the cheaper, more practical option that states and businesses are choosing because it makes economic sense. So despite Trump's attacks on clean energy, the market appears to be moving in a much different direction. Even states that aren't traditionally seen as clean energy leaders are rapidly expanding solar and wind because the tech has become more efficient, more affordable, and more competitive. So this is definitely a story worth watching because it could be a glimpse of where America's energy future is heading. That's the latest. Now I want to hear from you. What do you think about renewable energy like wind, solar, and other clean power sources? Do you think politicians should be making this more of a priority? And what do you think of the Trump administration's approach towards clean energy? Let me know right now in the comments. Okay, Ben, back to you.
More from Caroline Levitt right here, who says, thanks to Donald Trump, everything is more affordable. Again, more lies. Let's play this clip right here.
Thanks to President Trump and Republicans and common sense policies across the board, our country is safer. Our country is more affordable.
Then Sean Hannity starts to attack Abdul El Sayed, Dr. El Sayed, and Hannity's like, this guy hates the American healthcare system. He wants this to be like Canada, where they get free healthcare. Why do you think the Canadians hate their healthcare system? The Canadians don't hate their healthcare system. What in the deranged propaganda is this? What are you talking about, idiot? Here, play this clip.
El Sayed, who refers to himself as a medical doctor, never practiced medicine in his life, also hates America's healthcare system. He'd like to replace that with the single payer system like they have in Canada. By the way, why do all those Canadians come to America for healthcare? Yet they pay for it out of pocket.
And then they continue the culture wars on state regime media. They bring on this guest who is the athletic founder of something called XY, and their main topic was, let's talk about Sophie Cunningham, and they were treating her so mean in the WNBA, and let's talk about this so we don't have to talk about the fact that the American people have no health care. The American people can't afford groceries or gas. Gas prices are going back up again. Donald Trump's an idiot. He's a coward. He's like, I'm semi-negotiating with her. I'm going to low-key this discussion with Iran, while Iran just sees how pathetic and weak he looks, and he's made the United States. It's awful. Here, play this clip.
Yeah, but she has been liking our videos and sharing them from XXXY Athletics. We make, I will say so myself, we make great content that puts the attention back on the girls, and she has been liking and sharing them since October 24th. So, we have had some communication via DM, which I will not reveal, that's private, but I knew that she was on our side, and I'm just so pleased to see her standing her ground and doing it in such a dignified, lovely way. Love is truth is what she said. She said what she said. She's not bending a knee. She's not backing down, and she's going to take whatever she gets. She's the star we needed to put this at the center of the cultural conversation. These are not culture war issues. This is an 80% issue. 20% of people are nuts thinking men can be women. We deserve to win this, and we deserve to win it now.
More from state regime media, again, trying to distract from the real stories. Could you imagine if Biden or Obama hid in a frickin' catering truck at a NATO summit because they were terrified of Iran? You're supposed to be the leader of the most powerful military in the history of humankind, and you're hiding in a frickin' catering truck. You frickin' coward. Right? The biggest coward. So then they go, okay, what should we talk about? Let's talk about Enes Kanter, freedom. And let's talk about Royce White, these two former NBA players, one 6'11", the other 7 feet, and they're joining the WNBA. So now we get to bully trans people. No, stop bullying people. Stop behaving this way. These people, these Fox hosts are just the craziest people in the world. Actually focus on issues that the American people care about. Here, play this clip.
I know. I think what Enes Kanter Freedom is doing is genius. He started a movement, which I think, of course, was the intention. He's kind of set them up to where there's no other way out. At least now they have to either define the word woman or let him play. And I would laugh the fact that they're having a meeting to define what a woman is if it weren't so dang sad. But at least now they're having a meeting, which is more than what the Democratic Party is doing. I hope they don't invite Ketanji Brown Jackson to this meeting. I would love to be just a fly on the wall. Here's what I'll have to say about that. If you have to have a meeting to figure out what a woman is, then you're not fit to lead an organization, even if that organization is one that generally loses about $50 million every single year.
And then you have MAGA Republican Congresswoman Anna Paulina Luna. She's like, you want to talk about health care for all? Oh, promising. She goes, let's talk about advancements in AI. No, let's talk about healthcare for all. Let's talk about single payer. Let's talk about how in the wealthiest nation in the history of humankind and the wealthiest nation in the world, rather than putting our money into a military industrial complex where our commander in chief is hiding in catering trucks, I don't know, maybe we spend more money on giving healthcare to courageous men and women and people here in the United States of America who deserve healthcare versus the coward who's there hiding in catering trucks in Ankara, Turkey. Play this clip.
Meanwhile, they are literally being funded by billionaires that come in with these super PACs. And ultimately, I mean, if you're really wanting to talk about healthcare for all, look at the advancements that we have on AI and how that's really going to affect the healthcare industry as a whole.
And this is what they kept on talking about. They bring in guests who were like, I'm announcing that I'm joining the WNBA draft. Here, play this clip.
I mean, they're biological men identifying as women, and now Enes and Royce say, well, they can do that.
Harris, I'm here to announce her the WNBA draft too, because this is the best news for short men in the history of basketball.
Wow.
But seriously,
it's just truly pathetic. And then finally, Kayleigh McEnany's like, and to the coach of the Fever, how dare you not stand up for Sophie Cunningham? What are you even talking about? Here, play this clip.
Finally, I just want to say this. The coach of the Fever, how dare you not stand up vociferously for your player? As a coach, you should be standing up for Sophie Cunningham. I've been at MLB games where coaches have been ejected because they are standing up for their players. And instead, she acted like the defense counsel for Dejanay, the person who committed the aggressive foul against her own player. It is so shameful and transparent what she is doing.
Just think about how utterly pathetic this has been. That Donald Trump hid in a catering truck. And you know Fox wants to distract. Remember what's going on here, okay? Trump covering up child sex trafficking rings, okay? Trump and his regime covering up the Epstein files. Trump hiding in catering trucks. What a pathetic loser. Hit subscribe. Let's get to 7 million subscribers. Thanks for watching.
Hey, if you want the full story, how democracy got here and how we take it back, pre-order our new book, WTF America, today. Just scan the QR code or click the link in the description. Let's do this.